Okay, now that we set up the guide, now we're on the drawing layer. Select the drawing layer, Control plus to zoom in, and you can hold the space bar to move around. So we're going to trace, and we're going to do this with the pen tool. You're just going to make sure you have some ink. Make sure on the stroke you have a black ink, and let's get rid of the fill with no fill. All right. So again, to do a half circle, it's just 3 anchor points. 1, 2. You can do a click and drag if you want to add a curve, and 3, and then hit enter to stop. So this is a simple half circle, with the curve in the middle. And once you add the line, we can use the black arrow to select and deselect the shape. Now change the uniform to a brush stroke, this one, and there we go. And you can change the thickness here. Make it thick or really super thin, but we're going to go with the, maybe that thickness. There you go. You can also do half points, like if you do like this one, we can do, right now it's set to 1. You can do 1.5, 1.5. If you don't want to do 2, Again, we're just going to draw, let's draw it from here. 1. And if you do, you can do either click and then hit enter. Now, the first time I did it was click and drag to add a curve. You can just, to pull this drawer out, I just click and hold and click on the little drawer, and I have my regular pens, and I have the anchor point tool, which I can, when I click on it, I can add a curve like this. There you go. And then with the black arrow, I select it and add the brush stroke. And let's see, let's make it a 2. Let's see. Yeah. And then I can add another one here. You can either click or click and drag. Click overlap, try to hit enter when you want to stop drawing. And so yeah, you want to overlap some of these lines. Again, add the brush stroke, and it looks good. Let's do a nostril. So you can again click and drag if you want to do that. Hit enter. Now there's also other besides clicking on the black arrow and selecting these. There are other ones like these, like I can use for an eyebrow, or I can use it for a nostril, like that. So that looks like a nostril. So if I want to do like the nose here, this we have an S shape, right? So we start here, end of the circle, center of the circle, click and drag, another center of the circle, click and drag, and at the end of the circle, and hit click and then hit enter. So I have an S shape. And again, we have to deselect and select again in order to get this kind of an odd selection. Click on this brush stroke, and I'm going to go with 2. I want a thicker image there. And let's do another nostril here. There, hit enter to stop drawing. And you can, you can move this line, overlap it a little bit. Let's do this, and there you go. So we've got the nostrils. And if you want to do the eyes, let's do the eyes. So we can do click, click and drag, click and drag, click, enter. And I can change this to a brush stroke and make it nice and thick. There we go. And usually the one on the top eyelid is thicker than the one on the bottom. You want to also make the eyelid and the bottom thinner then try not to connect the 2 points because it'll become one shape. And see, even though there's no option here, but I have to click off, then you can see the option, which is kind of odd. And this one, let's see, you can adjust the curve here because it doesn't seem to fit. But again, with this tool, with the control anchor point, if you click on it, you get rid of all the curves. If it's selected, you can use the arrow keys on your computer to move this stuff up, down, right, left. I'm using my computer keyboard, the arrow keys. But okay, so again, reshape it. There we go, and it looks better. And we have another eyelid here. You can again click and drag if you like, or just add the curve after the fact. Hit enter. And oh, there it is. There's the anchor point. To vary the thickness depending, so that makes it look more interesting. For this one, I'm just going to do an outline of this because you see there's a color in there. So we can just start here, click that, and there, here, and you can close the shape, and let's do a brush stroke. Now we can cut this. I can use the scissors. Here's the eraser. Click on it, and I can cut it right here, just so I get pointy end right there. Now I got a pointy end right there. That looks better. Yeah. Okay. And to do an eyeball, let's do a circle. So here on the box, click and hold, select the ellipse tool, and click and drag. Oops. Click and drag to draw a circle. Right? Now, let me make it a little thinner. There. And it looks like it's gone beyond our shape. We can take the scissors and cut it here. Oops, cut the wrong shape. Make sure you click on the right shape. You don't want to cut the wrong shape. So select this. This is an extra piece here. We're just going to hit the delete key. And you know, I don't see a pupil, so I'm going to add a pupil. I like to put a pupil there. And you can swap the image, hit the swap right here. And I like to add highlights. So I'm going to add a highlight here. Just an ellipse right there, and I'm going to make it white. So I'm going to make it white like that, and it just looks like a highlight right there. You know what? I'm going to make this pupil a little bigger, right there. And let's see there. Looks good. Okay. Hair. Should we try hair? How much time do we have? I can do click and drag, click and drag. Oops, I have it backwards. So hit the swap. Click. Let's continue and see what happens. You can always cut it with the scissors. Stop there. All right, hit enter. Let's add a brush stroke. And yeah, I think we should cut it because I want it to be, so if I cut it here, now I had two separate shapes. You can actually make these thicker like that. So there's the hairline. So yeah, if we want to do the jacket, I still like to use brush strokes. So this one is kind of random. You don't want to go too long on a shape because then it gets super thin. So you got to find a stopping point, like here, right there. Like it started here and it ended here. And I like to add a brush stroke. Let's see. The problem is it gets really thin around the edges. You see that? There, like that. If you make it too long, if I hide this, can see. Let's do the chin. Now, I like to, wherever a bend comes in, like a bend here, I might want to start and stop. So I'll start here and click here. Well, I have to go back. Click here. Maybe. Do I want to stop here? I'll stop it there. And add a little concave shape there. And add a brush stroke. Let's make it thicker like that. And we can start here. You know, you don't want to click there because it'll just click off of it. You can move it later. Hit enter. And we're going to make it into a brush stroke. The reason I didn't want to, because it would become one line, but I just want two separate lines like that to overlap. There you go. And let's make this thicker. There you go. So it becomes a thin point right there where the line bends. And I thought I start make a bend here. So again, you don't want to put that there. You can start off there so you don't hit the same point, because it'll continue the line. You don't want to continue the line. Click and drag here. Click and drag. And I'm going to end it right there. Again, you don't want it too long. And I'm going to select this, make it into that way. I wonder, you know what? I was this kind of accidental. I want to leave it like that. I was going to move it back this way, like move this point back here. But you know what? I kind of like it where it is. I'm going to move this and overlap it here. You want lines to overlap. You don't want to leave any gaps like that. Let's add the little chin thing here. That. And make it into a brush stroke. There you go. Like that. See, that's what the lines look like. Okay. All right, so I'm going to move on to the coloring for the next one.